Is Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz confirmed?
Nate was acting like it was not confirmed.
That's what I've heard. Most people tell me it's not for sure. And
he is not happy that it's at 170 because Nate feels like a lot of people are throwing out the excuse of like, oh, well, you know, he fought you at 170. So big, that's why you won. Nate really wants this fight at 55. And Conor, I don't know if it's his pride getting through or if he does want a big fight against a GSP or a Robbie Lawler. He keeps talking about those guys. That he wants this fight at 170. He's adamant about 170. But I feel like you're giving Nate Diaz so many advantages. You're giving him a full camp Nate Diaz in at 170 pounds.
And confidence now. Oh, and he has money now. And now he's going to get more money.
Exactly.
And you're going to give him an entire camp, and it's at 170.
So for Nate, he's like, hey, I'll take it. I'll take the rematch.
It's an easy payday for it. I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
If I'm Dana White, I'm like, ain't happening. I don't care how bad you want it. Let's fight Frankie at 45. If you want a super fight, then we'll do that. But there's no more fights at 70 for you. Unless with GSP, you ain't fighting at 70.
Unless it's and Nate also feels like at 170 he has a built-in excuse that saying, well, I lost at 170, so now I can go to 55 or I can go to 45.
Nate's not that guy, is he?
If it's at 55 and he loses,
but Nate's not that guy. Nate's just like, let's do it whatever weight you want.
Yeah,
you give him a full camp. I just don't see how. And everyone knows I love Conor, man. I'm the biggest Conor fan. But if I break down that tape, I'm looking at it going, I don't see how you're going to beat this guy. Yeah. You threw the kitchen sink at him in that first round. You hit him with everything. Right. It did not affect him in the least bit.
Now, here's what's interesting. All signs are pointing to that rematch. Of course, this has been reported for a while. But the odds for the fight came out today. And who do you think's the favorite?
Conor.
Connor's the favorite. By a little bit. I think it's like Nate's like plus 125.
That line's going to change very fast.
Conor is minus 145 or something like that. But so it's close, but interesting to see that still, even at 170. At 170, it was, minus 145, I think, for Conor, plus 125 for Nate or something like that. And then at 55 was even a bigger advantage for Conor. Man. For Conor,
that's fucking nuts. I look at that fight and I'm just like, it doesn't take anything away from Conor. I'm like, oh, he's too big. Use the kitchen sink at him. Nate Diaz is the perfect matchup for this. He's just going to keep coming. He's ridiculous on the ground. If he gets you down, it's over. Right. He's just too big. Go back to 45, even 55. You're still the Mystic Mac. You're amazing. Right. You do it again and you lose again. Now that trash talk ain't cute.
Unless, and I don't know. This is, it could be. We haven't heard anything from Conor's camp or anything like that. But could it be that Conor had something going in that fight? Maybe he had an injury. Maybe he had a
But I feel like we know because, like, with the Max Holloway fight, we're like, that's weird one decision. Right. He's like, oh yeah, I blew out my knee.
Right. I know. That's the thing.
I just don't get.
There might be something there, and that's why the odds are in his favor. I don't know.
So let's say Conor beats Nate Diaz. Mm-hmm. We have to do a third time. Now it's 1-1.
Well, here's the thing.
And Nate's not a title holder.
Right. And if you're looking at a 1.4 or 1.5 million buys on the first pay-per-view, I assume UFC 200 is going to be even more. Mm-hmm. And then if you do the second match and Conor wins, there's going to be a trilogy.
There has to be.
Poor Frankie Edgar is going to be like,
oh no, the belt at 45. You just gotta get that up.
He's got to vacate it because it's not fair. The guys like Frankie and Aldo, they should just have Frankie and Aldo fight.
That's what I'm saying. Interim until Conor figures out shit. Right. I'll tell you what you can't do. You can't do Conor versus Dos Anjos. Yeah. I'm not trying to see that fight. To me, after seeing versus Nate and Conor, and dude, I'm the biggest Conor fan. After seeing that, I'm like, God, Dos Anjos is such an animal.
But what if Conor goes out there? I don't know. I don't think this will go down. But what if he goes out there and dominates Nate, finishes him like first, second round?
Now we're talking.
Right? And then if he beats it, and let's say he fights Nate again in the trilogy and wins again, maybe it makes sense. But you're right. If he loses to Nate, he can't go to 55. He's got to go to 45.
I just didn't see I didn't see anything in that fight where I'm like, oh no, Conor, he can win this. Because when he outstruck him, you look at the counter strike numbers that first round, I'm like, damn, Conor's tearing this dude up. Right. I look at Nate, I'm like, damn, it's really not phasing him. He's just too small to do damage to him.
And that's Nate. I mean, Nate got a phone call. He's on a boat drinking tequila 10 days before the fight, so he literally had no sparring for the match. He maybe hit pads like 3 times. Because by the time, you know how it is, 10 days they call you for a fight. Oh, you're on a boat. You have to call your coaches, training. By the time he actually had training, it was like 7 days out. He's in Vegas.
He had about 4 days to get a sweat on. And then also what bothered me about that fight is Diaz landed really one good One good straight.
That 1-2.
The straight 1-2.
Rocked him.
Had him on Queer Street. I was like, shit. Man, that I see that, and Nate's he's not a knockout artist.
Right.
So I see that, I'm like, hey, it's just too big.
Right.
Don't fuck up Mystic Mac, make him fight at 170 all the time. Don't do this, man.
Yeah.
Mystic Mac Cyborg, though, I'll take it. That's super interesting, man.